Hey everybody, welcome to Truth Wars. This is the Truth War. You're living in it, where the truth is always waiting to be discovered. What a crazy concept. So what do you see going on in your world today? Is all the corruption we're hearing about taking us straight to a hellish existence, or is a heavenly great awakening underway and just waiting to come into to be manifested? So what does that even mean? Well, Truth Wars is not advice of any sort, including spiritual or financial. It's for entertainment purposes only. Yes, if you want to laugh at me, go ahead. But do your own research. Okay, so what if I was to tell you that there is a plan to save the world underway right now? You'd probably say something like, well, how long is that going to take? Well, if you don't know how big the problem is and how long this has been running, you will have no frame of reference for understanding what's actually happening. But that's what I'm here to try to help you do. Here's the catch. This whole thing requires audience participation. Guess what? If you want to go to heaven, you got to engage. Otherwise, you condemn yourself to the other place. That ain't good. Okay, so we're going to look at precepts, concepts, principles, threads, and patterns throughout history. And if we don't know history, we're doomed to repeat it. Everybody's probably heard that. So I am going to have the audacity to talk about religion and politics. And all that means is belief systems and the struggle for power, right? Because in the big picture, that's really profound. We'll examine illusions and delusions in this present real life we're living in. And we're going to go by Proverbs 23. Buy the truth, sell it not. Also, wisdom, instruction, and understanding. Well, truth first. So there's four things, right? What's going to happen if we get those four things together and we add them together? We're going to end up with some increased consciousness. Consciousness. Do you realize consciousness is life? Something to really think about. What if we take truth, wisdom, instruction, and understanding and multiply it together with many other people? Guess what happens? Boom. What I'm saying is this earth is about to really come to life, and we don't want to be left behind. Okay, so we're going to talk about the standard of measure. I mentioned that in the last video. And there are all kinds of standards of measures in our world. There's the National Institute of Standards and Testings, automotive standards, engineering standards, all kinds of electrical standards, aviation. If you have ever flown on an airplane, you want to know that there are standards that whole system operates by. And without those standards, things do not go well. Really bad things happening. How about restaurant standards, health department standards? All this stuff is really important. But isn't it interesting that we spend a lot of time, vast majority of our time, concerned with standards in the physical world, and we spend a very little time concerned with the standards of the spiritual world. Now, this is going to sound a little bit weird, but I realized some time ago that I'm actually living in a two-dimensional world. Two-dimensional world. Okay, that sounds kind of weird. What does that mean? Because virtually everyone agrees now, it's self-evident to anybody who's being honest, in my opinion, that we were created. We were created and we came from somewhere. There's intelligent design all around us, and it is interdependent. It couldn't have come up from the swamp like some want to get us to believe. That's kind of hilarious to even think about that. A lot of contradictions in that belief system. So, if you can get on board with that you were created, I was created, the creation is incredible. What is the most fantastic device that has ever been created? What is it? Put your hands up to your head like this and think about what is between your hands right there. Do you realize that's your thing they call your brain, your cerebral cortex? Do you realize that is the most complex and significant thing? And if somebody knows how it really works, they're not telling the rest of us. It is incredibly complex and amazing. It is like the state-of-the-art device of anything. The best, can you say it's manufactured? It's amazing. I can't say enough about it. And what separates us humans from the animal world? We have the frontal lobe cerebral cortex, where we can think, and how does this work? We can decide to train our brain to do something that it couldn't before. blow your mind with that thought. So what does that really mean? It means that we are led by some kind of spiritual entity that leads us. And it's obvious if we do a little bit of examination and looking around, we can follow dark spirits, we can follow light spirits. So what is the standard for this spiritual world? If there's all these standards in the physical world, what is the standard for the spiritual world? Okay, I'm finally getting to my little story. So when I was like 17, which is about 1,000 years ago, not quite, more like 42 years ago, I'm up late at night in my parents' basement, the classic Weirdville scenario there, right? And it's like winter time and it's been dark for hours, and I'm watching like one of 2 channels or something because it was pathetic. Back in the day, you know, you didn't have any of the stuff you have now, which was kind of okay. But there was a guy that came on TV late at night on some talk show, and he holds up this big, thick, honking book and says, everybody should have a good working knowledge of this book. And I was not an academic person, and I'm like kind of scoffed. And of course, this is the cover that it said right here. And he was holding up the Bible, and I was like, I can't. I'm not an academic person. I can't know that stuff. I can't learn that stuff. But as life ground on, and it's been a grind at times, I realized that I need to learn something and get some answers to how this crazy world works. So now, dig on this. That Bible was given to me. I did buy this one. Look at this. Gee, you see, I haven't even hardly read this one. But look at that. There's another one. This, it would be called a standard, a spiritual standard. And what are these things? I don't worship the Bible. Don't ever worship the Bible. You shouldn't do that. Here's another one that I think somebody bought. Did somebody buy this for me? I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe it was a gift. Maybe I got it. I don't know. But here's something else that somebody gave me, which is an amazing. Ever heard of this? This is a Strong's Bible Concordance. Holy smokes. If you want to dig in a study, you want to know some stuff, this has got some stuff in it. But look, big, thick, honking book again, right? Well, now everything virtually is on the electronic machines, which is really cool as long as it goes back to the standard and it has the truth in it. Because there's, you know, the they thing, the they people, you know, it's them, they want to control us. There is a they, and we're going to get to that. But that book, the Bible, the ancient scriptures, and I'm not saying just the Bible, but the ancient scriptures, the scriptures, it's a whole other subject. It's a big, deep subject, but there's got to be a standard for what we believe. And if we don't know what these ancient scriptures said, because people have done it all before, and they wrote it down for us to look at. But I live in an age now where I don't think most people are tuned into the Bible. They're more about trying to control a situation than they are about walking out what the scriptures or the will of the Creator would be. We have to think this through. What is your standard? What are you going by? That's what I'm trying to go by. So we don't pretend to be perfect here. We don't pretend that we've got it all right, but we are going to make an effort to try to keep learning. God bless you. Thanks for coming around. We'll see you next time.